Yo, hey there, horror fiends. Okay, I want to take the moment real quick to discuss one of my all-time favorite sequels. Of course, it's from the 80s, and that sequel is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Bam! Nah, okay, so this is my favorite cover over this bullshit wannabe Hostile Saw cover. But anyhow, so I'm gonna hold this one up. Okay, that's actually mocking the Breakfast Club poster. Anyhow, so, my thoughts on this movie are this. Okay, after Tobe Hooper made the brilliant and awesome, scary and white-knuckle, suspenseful, gritty 1974 original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which, by the way, I think trumps and is greater than the 2003 remake. That's just my opinion, because I'm an originals kind of guy. And this sequel right here is kind of the only way for him to go, the only route for him to go in the 80s with this one, especially during the excess of the 80s and the Reagan era, was to kind of make a parody of the excessive 80s. Okay, and this movie is full of excessive humor, excessive gore, and just more. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's a pretty badass plot too, I think, of how they kind of brought out the family of killers out of hiding. And as opposed to like Part 3 and the Next Generation and even the remake and its sequel, which are all the same stories of a group of people get trapped near the house and tortured by the family, blah, blah, blah. This is something different, you know, and you have to recognize and enjoy it for what it is. And what that is this. They're out of hiding, or they're in hiding, and they've remained out of hiding for a long time. And the Sally Hardesty, the survivor of Part 1, her uncle, I believe it's her uncle, who's played by Dennis Hopper, is on the track of them. He's trying to track down other chainsaw murders in the area of Texas. And within that time, there is the main character, Stretch, played by the awesome Caroline Williams, who's one of my favorite horror movie heroines just because of this film. She's the radio DJ of the town's radio waves. And upon one night, these bratty-ass, preppy yuppies, you see, in the originals, it was hippies in the 70s they were killing. In this one, it's all the yuppies, which I fucking love. And anyhow, so it was all these two yuppies are going on their way to a Dallas football game. And upon doing that, they play a game of chicken on the road with a suspicious-looking pickup truck. Well, little unbeknownst to them, that pickup truck is Chop Top and Leatherface. And Chop Top is a new family addition in this one, who was not in the original, because I believe in the original, in that time frame, he was in the Vietnam War. Because in this one, now he has a metal plate in his head due to the Vietnam War. Anyhow, I move on. So, after them catching up to the yuppies and murdering them in an awesome fucking sequence, which is the yuppies trying to speed forward with the truck speeding backwards with them, and Leatherface jumping on the truck with what is known as the Muppet corpse tied to him, which I believe is the corpse of the hitchhiker from the original one. If you look at the clothes and the little sack of the little animal sack around its neck, that's the hitchhiker. So anyway, that tied to him. They chainsaw the yuppies up and they get killed, but it's done live on air because the yuppies were too busy pranking the radio station, and so it's recorded on live air. And upon doing so, Dennis Hopper's character finds out and comes to that location and meets up with the radio DJ to replay it on the radio again, per request, and that brings Leatherface and Chop Top out of hiding to come and kill her and pretty much hide the tape or get it or whatnot. And so she doesn't have there's no witnesses. And anyhow, so upon doing so, Chop Top shows up to the radio station in a very creepy sequence, because he's a very creepy character, but by the way, he's one of my all-time favorite horror movie villains, played by Bill Moseley. Anyhow, so in a good sequence, basically she's almost attacked by Leatherface, and then rather kind of seduced by Leatherface with his chainsaw, if you kind of get my drift, and then he leaves her. Chop Top thinks that she's left for dead, and Leatherface actually never harmed her, and because he's got a little crush on Stretch. And so they exit and leave, and then she goes in hot pursuit following them to the underground lair, which used to be Texas, like a landmine ground, like a a tourist trap kind of thing, and they have taken over and made it their underground lair of horrors. And so the rest of the movie is spent with Stretch stuck down in that underground lair with the family and trying to escape, while Lefty Enright, who is Dennis Hopper's character, comes and tracks him down with his pair of chainsaws to finally kill off the family one by one. The movie is very gruesome. I remember at a young age, when I finally saw it in elementary school, I could not watch the scene when Chop Top hammers the head of LG, the co-assistant to Stretch at the radio station. I couldn't handle that, and nor could I handle the scene when Stretch later finds LG in the lair, underground lair, having his skin removed over his all the meat and bone and muscles. It was very disgusting, but now I love the movie. It's like I see it for its excessive goofiness. And it's a very colorful film as well. It has awesome, brilliant coloring in it. And one other thing I want to mention that I really love about the movie is, boom, the soundtrack. Yeah, I had the old original cassette tape of the soundtrack, also burned on the CD, but it's badass. It's got some good-ass songs from Oingo Boingo and like Concrete Blonde, and some others on there. That's really cool. And the Cramps. Can't go wrong with the Cramps. And so anyhow, the movie's got it all for me. It's got the excessive gore, the excessive humor. It's got the kind of, like I said, the underlying humor about the excess of the 80s. You know, about the yuppie age and all that stuff. And it's got an awesome soundtrack. And it boasts an awesome amount of characters. Like I said, Chop Top. Enough said. He's one of the coolest fucking villains in horror history in my book. Very eccentric, very bizarre, and I could do a mean-ass impression of him, but I'm not going to do it right now. But anyhow, so this movie is worth checking out. If you're expecting something in the retread of all the other Texas Chainsaw Massacre films with people in a van or car getting trapped on the side of the road and going to a farmhouse, blah, 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 then you're going to probably hate it. But if you want something above all that, then boom, this is the way to go. You cannot beat this. And I mean, come on, with a cover like this of the Breakfast Club kind of mock-up, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. That's badass. Anyhow, so that's my 2 cents on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 from 1985, 1986. And check it out. If you ever see it on Netflix streaming, definitely watch it, because it's definitely well worth it. And the humor is good and fun, and the gore is top-notch aces from Tom Savini. Can't go wrong there. Peace.